What is going on, guys? Deco here. It's been about a week since our last video, our last update of what's going on, how the print shop's working. I'm just going to fill you in. You know, we got the printer last week. We started everything last week. And I did what every person does when they first get a 3D printer. I just blew the whole reel. I printed out a ton of stuff to give away, a bunch of these little life counters, a bunch of stuff you get from Maker World, MTG deck boxes. I built this Sensei's Top life counter. A lot of really cool stuff. I also printed out a bunch of like minis. I wanted to try and get more into that figure painting, so I just printed out a bunch of these minis. It's pretty wild when you think about it. Like you go into a store and you buy something like this, it would cost you probably around $5, but really you can print this out for 30 minutes, I think. So I mean, $10 an hour, you're turning that one filament reel into about $1,000, $500 to $1,000 with figures, if that was your dealio. I'm sure I'll eventually make a set or two minis down the line. I don't doubt it. That's just the nature of the beast. All right, continuing on. So I burned through all that filament, and then I moved on to this back here. You can't see it too well, sorry. A little like gorilla arm for my phone. So I got this Hatchbox Black. This filament's been out of its container since, I don't know, maybe 2016, 2017, somewhere around then. Exposed to the elements. I don't have a bunch of these dissecants or discounts, whatever the hell they're called. I'm starting to pick them up, save them, throw them in boxes. But in the meantime, I got R&D to do. So for research and development and prototyping and all that crap, hey, let's use this crappy filament. This prints pretty well on the PLA basic setting for the bamboo. I ended up I print that same mini out on it. It did have stringing, but in the same space that the previous blue was stringing as well. But I also printed out another mini. He's like more Warhammer Space Marine guys. Came up pretty good. He had quite a bit of string in the crotch area. The trees really held on to the magazine of the gun, broke that off. But it is brittle. Old filament. Did have some issues with it, like breaking at the reel, but it seems to be good now. I haven't had really any issues since then. Just that first day. Let's talk about the failed prints. So in prototyping, you have a lot of failures. There's going to be the sizing differences. Maybe you're going to print an extrusion and it's just not going to be strong enough, like what just happened to me. Unfortunately, before this video, I actually waited for this print to finish to show it off, and I need to add more material to the overhangs because they cracked right when I looked at them, right when I pulled them off the bed. This is I would talk about those coasters, guys. This is one of those coasters. This is not one of the ones that's going to be available online, but this was research and development. I spray painted a bunch of coasters. I was originally planning to do them, sell them in sets of the colors of the houses in Magic the Gathering, the gates. And I was going to do, Azorius, Rakdos, all that good stuff. But it was just a lot of work. I only had black primer at the time. I sprayed this, started to paint it. I really hated it, immediately stopped and continue on. And that's just, hey, it's all about making a product, making it happen. You live and you learn, you move on, you do new things. So the coasters are done. I'm going to show you them in a second. But where did that one go? Maybe it's in the trash box. Yep, sure is. Sorry about that. So, so this right here, I did try out after I printed out the other ones that I had printed and got ready to give away. I discovered a feature called ironing. Yep, there you go. Should be able to see it in the camera. You'll see it in the top half of the print here. It is crystal smooth. It looks buttery and beautiful. A little bit of rigidity around the logos, but as for the surface, it looks great. The only issue is ironing it. Only ironed half of the surface really good. The other half is really bubbly and messed up. It might just be that filament, which I'm hoping, but I will definitely be looking more into ironing in the future. Because it just looks great. It's great quality to add. It only adds, I don't know, 15 minutes to the print for this size. So really, it's just worth it. Another R&D issue is, hey, when you are prototyping something, don't print a lot of it, which I already broke that rule. I just did it with these things as well. But I printed out a set of 4 of these coasters, but I printed them out in 4mm instead of 2, and they're just mega thick. They took a long time to print, didn't like it, so I split them out in a 2mm, and then I really rounded off because it has kind of, you can see it kind of blocky. So did that. They print out real fast. They look pretty good. And why don't I go ahead and ship them? So this is not that one. It's got a little bit of water damage. It's rain while I was. There's a matte one, and we just use these 2. And there's a little bit of issues with the coasters as well. Not the final product, only the current batch that I have, and that's, hey, it goes with R&D. We're about to go over that as well. But these are the coasters. They're fully painted. This is the glossy version. I only had paint and prime black, so I ended up just spraying the whole thing black. I went over it with acrylic markers to get the logos and the lining, and then hit it with the gloss, and then glued some felt on the bottom. There's a little bit of cat hair. My cat got in the felt. I have to wash it again. It's annoying. You leave something out for 20 minutes and something jumped up. So it's, you just live and learn. And then this was the matte one. This was no glossy glossy varnish added to it. It's just straight painted, good to go. So these turned out pretty good. I like them. I can't wait to print them out on the actual real stuff. The non hydrated, I guess, filament, and get on with that. So next we're gonna go about the. I've just been building a lot of stuff. This ruler actually was something I spent a couple hours on, and the reason I really discussed this is it did teach me a lot. It taught me a lot about flexibility. You're able to build flexible materials. I did it with my girlfriend's, and she had a bookmark. It was a bookmark. I made her a bookmark, and I personalized it and everything. But I added every little feature. It's hard to see the lines. It's every 1/8 of an inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, all that's on there, full inch. I added a sequential numbers, so hey, this is 1 through 10 inches. It is one print. It takes about 15 minutes to print. There's also these circles, these large circles that go down, and those are, this is a 9mm diameter circle, so 4.5mm circle, and that's just for being able to notice, when you're drawing and drafting and all that. You also have these little circles, and therefore you hold it down, you can draw a circle with it, and you got a little right triangle as well. But the reason why I did this is it took me about a couple hours to design this, print this out, and get a final version. I got 5 or 6 in my junk bucket down here. I don't know if you can see it. There's just a bunch of scrapped prints and R&D crap. But the reason I made this is, 1, it's a functional piece for me. I didn't have a ruler in the house. 2, it's got different CAD things for when I'm drawing up on the grid paper. And finally, hey, look, I needed something. I designed, developed it, printed it out. Now I have another product just to throw in the store. Hey, you can buy 5 of these for $6 or something, and that's probably what'll happen. But it just goes to show you that you can create products pretty much out of nothing. As long as you need something, you can design it and build it. So the product that I was gonna kind of showcase here is a lantern lamp that I've been working on, and it essentially sits like this. It sits along your I don't know, home. It's home decor. So you set it up. There's these pucks that I made, and you get this Japanese symbol on it, and they're hollowed out in the center, and the burlap twine actually goes through it. You tie it off on the end and then tug it to kind of conceal it. You might be able to pluck it out, but you can see, yeah. So you have a knot here. You cut off the tip of the knot, and it sits pretty flush in there, and you can trim it off and whatnot. And then I'll put double-sided tape on here. And the point was to just have these like little Japanese beer lanterns kind of dangle along the whole string and just kind of look cool. It's a little decoration item. I do have a lot of decoration. I spent a lot of time in Southeast Asia, and I printed out all these little bulbs and everything. But we got a lot of that stringing from that old reel. But I didn't really like the shape of these cans here. I didn't really like these can lanterns, how they looked. These are all really good, but they're thick. These are thick. These are like 2 millimeter. I just took a sphere and blender and added feet and top to it and did a little bar, and that worked. But I just didn't like it. I didn't like the design. And then I seen a short about Bezier curves, whatever. The Bezier, I don't know. They're in Blender. They're popular in CAD software. And they talked about how you can use them with the skew tool to really make some good quality things. So these are the round 2. This is the first set of them I've printed off. These also came with a brim. Ooh. These came with a brim, and I already tore the brim off, so I'm going to redo it to where there's no brim because I didn't like that. I'll do the same thing I did with this one. But it's more like a tube. It's instead of like a can. It's so much bigger. It's so much thicker, and the quality is good. There's like little rivets. You can see it in the camera, and that's supposed to be like the lines you see, the metal wire lines when you see the lantern. And I'll probably add a hole to the bottom of this, and that goes on to our next one, which is the bulb portion. And this one also, incredibly better. This one looks like a round sphere, where this one actually has like the sagging points, and just really looks just more realistic as a lantern you'd see. And this is all print in one piece, no scaffolding. There's a lot of issues with stringing. I'll probably hit it with a heat gun afterwards. But the main thing that we see is there's 2 holes, and that was my girlfriend's design. She was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool, but what about like tassels or something?" I was like, "Okay, yeah, I can add holes to that." And then she came back and she was like, "Well, why don't you just add 1 hole and you can just tie a knot in the yarn so it just hangs there?" And I was like, "Why don't I do that?" So we're gonna reprint these as well. All these bulbs and everything that aren't broken. There was like a little issue with the top piece of these, and they ended up just snapping right off on most of these. But the ones that are whole, I'll just paint and give away Christmas time or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm working on for the next project. And going on forth, I'm just gonna keep just throwing stuff up there. I'm hoping to do 1 new product a week. As long as I can. Who knows? But moving on, we're going to the future of this printing setup. 1, this printing setup is super temporary. I want to get it out of here, go somewhere else. 2, I'm going to print out shelves and storage nooks for all my things, my tools. There's a lot of really important tools that most people don't really talk about. You need pliers to pull crap off of them. These little wire cutters, a lot of printers that come with these wire cutters. These are a lifesaver. This is a deburring tool, and probably one of the best things you're ever going to get. And it just kind of like swoops around and rips a lot of the little picks of plastic. This is an old metal scraper from my very first 3D printer that was probably something found on AliExpress. Mega rusty, but it does work really well. But I don't use it that much, just because of it's rusty and it's metal. It damages the print bed. I print out this plastic scraper. Honestly, this is the most used tool in the whole toolbox because it's easy and it doesn't damage the print bed when you pull stuff off. When designing, calipers are probably one of the most useful things you could ever imagine to try and get your object to just fit in there correctly, because you just say that's exactly how big you want it, and you can just design from there. Also, I picked up a scale. You don't need a shipping scale if you want to use Etsy. You'll need to ship. You have to weigh your product before it ships and all that. So that was just a pickup. As well as I've been developing a lot of spreadsheets on how to maintain your inventory, how to calculate everything. It's helping me calculate the prices and going forth. So I'm really excited about keeping going. I'm going to show a video on how to set up Blender for 3D printing here soon, how to use the Bezier curves, how to do like basic Blender stuff, extruding and creating shapes. I also want to go over the spreadsheet and just kind of go over what entails all that. And there will be a product video here once my Etsy account gets finalized. I will have a product video of the coaster coming up that you guys will be able to check out. So if there's more that you want to see with this, hey, follow me or whatever. If not, hey, man, I post on a lot of the pages weekly, and I try to get as many videos as I really can. So I look forward to seeing you guys. Thanks. You guys take care.